So, what is Dinka? Dinka Foundation is an educational organization, and our work focuses on SPED and autism. So, our mission is to empower, advocate for, and build the self esteem of children with autism by providing resources to families and teachers, resulting in better educational outcomes for children. So, let's look at why we do this work. Right now, there are 120,000 children receiving SPED services under the category of autism in California. This doesn't mean that there are only 120,000 children with autism in the state, because we don't know how many children have autism. Oftentimes, children are misdiagnosed and they're receiving services under some other category, or they have yet to be diagnosed. So all states have to report this information to the Department of Education each year in order to be compiled, shared with the public, and guide them on policies and other matters. So let's break this information down into biteable pieces so that we can really understand it. As you can see from this chart, this graph that I created for you, it shows the percentages of individuals receiving SPED services under the category of autism for ages 3 to 5 in California. So I'll just give you a moment to look at this graph before I move on. Now let's look at that same graph but for ages 6 to 21. So if you notice, the first graph depicts information for ages 3 to 5, and this one is for ages 6 to 21 with respect to AUT. And were you to compare the information on both of those graphs, what you see is 50.5% of the Hispanic Latino demographic, they're receiving services under the AUT category for ages 3 to 5. And for ages 6 to 21, those numbers decreased slightly to 45.8%. For the white demographic, you see a slight increase between the two graphs. So we went from 20% to 27%. And you also see a slight increase amongst Asians and African Americans. So for the Black demographic, we see it slightly increase from 6% to 7.1%. So again, it's important to look at data because data is what informs us on the direction that we need to go in, whatever your discipline, be it medicine, education, or the criminal justice system, etc. Wherever you see numbers that make you pause and question what's happening in an environment, you see people who move on that data and ask questions and review policy and take action.